Good morning, class 12. This is your subject Business Studies, chapter 5, Organizing, lecture number 11. Beta, in our last lecture, we learned about formal and informal organization, its advantages and limitations. So in this lecture, we will study about delegation of authority. So let's start our topic. First of all, what do you mean by delegation? Delegation is a process by which a manager shares some of his work and authority with his subordinates. Delegation of authority, popularly known as delegation, because it is an important part of the organizing process. Its need is felt when, due to excessive workload on a manager, he is unable to perform all the jobs independently. In this situation, he divides his work among his subordinates. But only division of work does not guarantee success. For the successful work performance, authority should be given to subordinates to take the work related decisions. Isn't it so? Means if we are giving some of our work to our subordinates, suppose we are superior, in that case we have to give that person authority and responsibility. Fine, both. So the division of work and assigning authority for the successful work performance is called delegation of authority. Fine. If we want to understand it, let's take an example for it. Suppose Sumit started a travel and tourism company after completing a course on tourism from one of the reputed institute in Kolkata. So being after very confident about his capabilities, he decided to handle the entire work single-handed. Are you getting me? He knows his capabilities, that's why he decided to handle the entire work single-handed. However, it did not take him long to realize in that he needs to hire an assistant. So he appointed Subhashish, fine, as a coordinator. Once Subhashish was appointed, it was necessary to give him sufficient authority so that he could carry out his work efficiently and effectively as well. So it is important to appreciate the fact that the authority which was given to Subhashish was actually a part of authority that Sumit enjoyed in the organization. Means if he has given some of his authority and responsibility to his subordinate whom he appointed in his organization, this process is termed as delegation. Fine. Now the elements of delegation. There are three elements of delegation: authority, number two responsibility, and number three accountability. Fine. First of all, authority. What do you mean by authority? Authority means the power to take decisions. Decision can be related to the use of resources or to do something. Fine. Authority moves from top to bottom because it is given by the superior to his subordinates. Fine. And responsibility. Responsibility is called the delegation of authority along with the work process, or we can say the obligation of a subordinate to properly perform the assigned duties. So when a superior assigns a job to his subordinate, it becomes the responsibility of the subordinate to complete that job. Fine. Next one is accountability. Beta, if we have given some authority to somebody, that person is responsible for the work. Now accountability means the answerability of the subordinate to his superior for his work performance. We can take one example. Suppose I have given the authority to my subordinate, fine, and responsibility as well, fine. In that case, he is accountable for performing or not performing that particular task that was assigned by me to him. Fine. So this is the difference between authority, responsibility and accountability. We can study in detail now. First of all, authority. Authority refers to the right of an individual to command his subordinates and to take action within the scope of his position. Means they are saying authority means the power to take decision. Fine. It also means the power to tell people what they need to do and expect them to do it. The authority refers to the right of a person give command to his subordinates and ensures compliance. Fine. So, every job position within an organization should have a well-defined authority attached to it. So, in practice, the two type of authorities are there, formal and personal. Formal authority is that in which the person enjoys his position that he holds within the organization. Personal authority means that a person refers to the authority that he or she enjoys because of his personality. Fine. He has not the position, he does not have in the position of fulfilling that authority, but he has been assigned that authority by someone because he has capability to perform that. Fine. Now we can see the origin, flow and delegation of authority. Number one, origin. It arises from a formal position. The concept of authority arises from a established scalar chain which links the various job positions and levels of an organization. In the formal organization, authority originates by individual's position and the extent of authority is highest at the top management levels. The authority is always in the hand of top management. Fine. And it reduces successively as we go down to the corporate ladder. Fine. So authority flows from top to bottom. See, second point. The authority flow from top to bottom. For example, the superior has the authority over the subordinate. Fine. So authority relationships help to maintain order in the organization by giving the managers the right to exact obedience and give direction to the workforce under them. Fine. Next one is delegation. The delegation of authority. It can be delegated from a superior to his subordinate. Authority can be delegated from a superior to his subordinates. Fine. Next one is responsibility. Responsibility refers to the obligation of a subordinate to properly perform the assigned duty. Responsibility arises from a superior subordinate relationship because the subordinate is bound to perform the duty assigned to him. Fine. So this is the feature of responsibility, we can say. Or we can say responsibility comes into play only after the job has been assigned. So to assign job can be called to assign the responsibility. Responsibility can be assigned to some other person. The essence of responsibility is to be dutiful, and it gets originated because of superior subordinate relationship. Fine. Now origin. It arises from a delegated authority. If we have given some responsibility to somebody, definitely we must give that authority to fulfill that responsibility also. So there should be proper balance between authority and responsibility. Fine. Second one, flow. It flows upwards because subordinate will always be responsible to his superior. Subordinates are always responsible to his superior. So responsibility flows upward from a subordinate to his superior. Fine. Next point is delegation. It cannot be entirely delegated. What does it mean? It means that one of the significant difference that exists between authority and responsibility is like that responsibility cannot delegate it completely. We cannot give the responsibility to one person completely. Fine. Now accountability. The third element of delegation is accountability. What do you mean by accountability? The accountability refers to the answerability for the final outcome of the assigned task. They are saying that accountability is the answerability. Answerability means the subordinate is answerable to his superior for the final outcome of the assigned task. So accountability means the answerability of the subordinate to his superior. So when a superior assigns job to his subordinates, Simultaneously, he gives authority to them, which makes worker accountable to their superior for the work performance. Fine. So if we have given some authority to somebody, that person is responsible, and if he has taken the responsibility of completing that task, it means he is totally accountable for the final outcome of the assigned task. Fine. Now see origin. Accountability arises from responsibilities. Fine. Flow. अकाउंटेबिलिटी का फ्लो क्या होता है? इट फ्लोज अपवर्ड्स बिकॉज सुपीरियर इज अकाउंटेबल टू सबऑर्डिनेट इज अकाउंटेबल टू सुपीरियर ना, तो सबऑर्डिनेट विल बी अकाउंटेबल टू हिज सुपीरियर फॉर satisfactory performance of work. Fine. So it flows upwards in the organization chart. Next one is delegation. Once the authority has been delegated means एक बार authority transfer की, responsibility accept हो गई, तो one cannot deny accountability. That means if somebody has the responsibility and authority of doing or completing a particular task in a particular time decided by his superior, it means that subordinate cannot deny accountability. That subordinate is responsible for completing or not completing the task that has been assigned to him by his superior. Fine. So origin means it arises from responsibility. Flow, it flow upward. A subordinate will be accountable to his superior for satisfactory performance of work. And next one is delegation. Once the authority has been delegated and responsibility accepted, one cannot deny accountability. Fine. So it's our duty that if we are handling some authority and responsibility to somebody, that person is accountable to us for completing or finishing or not completing the task. Fine. Understood these three? Now the main point is that delegation does not mean abdication. Means, first of all, we must know about the abdication's meaning. Abdication means failure to fulfill a responsibility or duty. You know. So basically the word abdication means that resigning from a formal office. So delegation does not mean abdication, means that delegation does not mean that if we have already given some responsibility to somebody, that person is responsible for fulfilling that task. So we can study here, the managers shall still be accountable for the assigned task. Suppose I am the manager of a company. Fine. If I have given some work to my subordinate to fulfill that, to complete that work, and if he has completed that work and some fault is there, in that case definitely he is responsible for the work not to be completed in the exact manner. But in front of management, I am the responsible person for not completing that work on time, because it was my choice to give my responsibility to the subordinate. Subordinate has done or not, it doesn't mean that I have shucked from my responsibility. Understood? So the authority granted to a subordinate can be taken back and redelegate it to another person. Fine. We can take one example here. Sakshi is working as a marketing manager in an automobile company. Fine. The general manager of the company has asked her to get a print advertisement made to commemorate the launch of a new car. So Sakshi in return forward his work to her subordinate. Assistant Marketing Manager Snigdha, who in turn further delegates this work to one of the creative designer Sunidhi in her department. Now let us presume for some reason that a required advertisement does not turn to be very effective. Whom do you think so that he is responsible? Who should be held responsible for this? Can Sakshi or Snigdha escape from her responsibility? Or you put the entire blame to creative designer Sunidhi? If this will happen in reality, then nobody in the organization can ever be held responsible and will keep on passing the task from one person to another. Fine. So, in the above example, each one of the employee involved remained responsible to his superior for the work assigned despite the fact that it has been delegated further. Understood? So this is your homework. You have to learn these topics, delegation and the elements of delegation. Write down in your notebook.